What's up, brother?
Well, how are you doing?
Ugh, just living the.
There's a lot of fucking talk around you, Martin. People are, I don't know. People are saying Chris is going to beat you. People are saying there's no way Chris can beat you. It's just like it's created a lot of fucking hype. It's pretty cool.
Dude, it is funny. It is funny seeing it's complete ends of the spectrum. It's like
Yeah,
the bummies. They're like the Swifties. They're like Chris is beating him. He's
yeah,
destroying him. And then like people that know bodybuilding are like, okay, Marty's pretty good, bro. This is gonna be a little
yeah.
difficulter than you guys think. Chris is great though,
Do
man.
you think that's what it is? Listen, we should just say this at the very beginning of the podcast. Chris is a fucking six-time Olympian with an absolutely phenomenal physique. And none of this is to disrespect that at all, but we're just gonna have some fun with it. Anyway, Guy, how are you?
What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
I was wondering if you were going to ask me to be on a podcast this week because I called you, then you didn't pick up, and I was like, oh, he's back to this shit now, not
You
answering phone calls.
you didn't call me.
This
You,
I absolutely did.
what the? No, you fucking didn't.
Okay.
Don't
Hey,
show my.
Marty, get ready,
Don't
get
show.
ready, get ready for an apology. I'm not showing your number. I'm not stupid.
Oh God, everyone would be calling you, bro.
Dude, there's no. I'm
Ben did
looking.
it to me.
I'm looking through my phone calls right now. There's no Guy Cisternino. Oh wait. It says Monday. Monday. That was five fucking days ago.
Does that mean you shouldn't call me back? I don't understand how it works. Does that mean I gotta call you again? After 5 days, you gotta call me again to remind me.
I don't fucking remember you. I don't remember you calling
I was
me.
like, either he's mad or he wants to ask me on a podcast. He doesn't want to talk to me to have stuff to talk about.
No. Okay, this is gonna sound like such a shit fucking excuse. I said this to my wife the other day. So it's for real. My phone is doing this thing where I have it on vibrate, but it doesn't even vibrate. Like it doesn't do anything. Like the screen will light up if somebody calls,
Yeah.
but it doesn't like alert me that
Did you
somebody's
go
calling.
into the did you go into the setting? You might have vibrate turned off when on silent.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
have that, but
hmm.
then it's a real bitch when you lose your phone.
Yeah.
I have
Um,
the 14 and it keeps shit in the bed. It like keeps saying I have like no service, then I have to like restart the phone again.
hmm.
I don't know.
Time to buy a new one, Uncle Guy.
That's
The
what I
new
know.
one,
I have
the
to.
new one just dropped last month, so that's why.
Huh?
So
The new one dropped last month. That's why it's doing it to you.
Is that true what they say that when they come out with like new phones and new updates, they actually fuck with like the older phones and start like slowing them down so like kind of
Well,
pushes you to
what
get a new one, or is that all bullshit?
I don't think it actually slows the phone down. I think what happens is the new updates that they have are built for the processor in the new phone. And then the old phone can't process at that speed. So it kind of burns the phone up trying to.
Martin, how are you so fucking smart? I thought you were a meathead.
I
Bro,
feel like he's just making it all up. It just sounds real believable.
well, honestly, man, like I am a meathead, but like I'm truly fascinated with the inner mechanisms of like everything that's around me.
You're a pharmacist, Marty, right?
Yeah, I mean, I went all the way up until the point at which I worked in a pharmacy, and then I said, like, this sucks. Being an intern pharmacist sucks ass. I don't want to do
Hey,
this.
what's the newest phone? 15? 16?
16.
16 just came.
I think I got a 15.
I have a 14.
I have a 15 as well.
They're all the fucking same.
So
Dude, the
stupid.
new the new one, I won't lie to you, the new phone is not that much different, but the camera is insane.
Everybody says that. I feel like
Yeah.
my cameras look the same since like the
So,
iPhone.
so this one you actually have to know how to like use it because the camera's starting to get it like super advanced. But Jake was
But how clear do I need the photo? Like seriously, like if I'm out
well,
with listen, I'm not a bodybuilder anymore, so I'm not taking progress pictures. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
if I'm out with a few buddies, we're having a drink and we take a group photo, like
Who cares?
how amazing does it have to be, you know? Like I don't know. Is it really like the end of the world? Anyway, listen, Martin and Chris have set the world on fire. I want to ask you guys if you think we'll get away from Martin for 1 minute. Is it disrespectful to Sean and potentially Rafa and Akeem if they go on from Romania to Prague? Do we have any confirmation if they're doing Prague or not?
Is it disrespectful?
Well, I mean, disrespectful in a sense of like people are kind of like saying it's a Martin and Chris show, and I'm like, Akeem's a big motherfucker, man. And his most recent updates, he is peeled.
I'll say this: Akeem, the past couple of shows, I feel has got very overlooked. I thought he looked very good his past couple of showings, and I don't know, he hasn't gotten the look.
I don't think he got overlooked at the Olympia. I think he was better on Saturday night than he was on Friday, and he got rewarded for it.
Yeah,
because he was top 10, wasn't he? Wasn't he 10th?
Yeah, he was top 10.
Yeah, I mean that's a fucking great placing, like 10th in the world.
I just think so. I mean, he at the Arnold, I thought he looked tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
And he got overlooked hard. I thought
he came back to finals way better at the Arnold. The first night it was kind of.
I thought.
So is that his issue? Is he coming back to fine? Is he not nailing it that prejudging? Because sometimes I don't see both showings, right?
Yeah,
I'll see one or the other.
So the ones that you're seeing it's like it's 2-day shows, and the second day he's nailing it, and the first day's man. Because I seen him in person at Toronto when he won his qualification, and it was all in one day. Yeah. And he got better from prejudging to finals, but it was not this drastic, like, oh my gosh. And whereas like both at the Olympia and the Arnold, I thought that I was like, wow, he's a different bodybuilder tonight versus last night.
The best I think I've ever seen him look was Saturday night at the Olympia.
Yeah, he looked great, man.
He was pretty fucking awesome. Wow. I think if he looked like that on Friday, he might have.
I thought he could have been bumped. I think he could have been higher. But see, if he looked like that on Friday, because you guys say he didn't look that good on Friday, I don't know.
He looked good. He just didn't look as good as Saturday.
It wasn't.
Based on his Saturday night, I thought he could have been like 7th, 8th. I looked damn good to me.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. We'll get back to Akeem. Sorry, we'll get back to Akeem in a second. James, how are you?
Hello, boys. So it's a bit like the cops. I didn't realize
this is the new home, the new castle.
Yeah, shithole in a minute, but it's all good.
Congratulations on the house, man.
Thank you, man. This is the new office. Cheers, guys.
I wish you had us on a phone. It would be nice to take a tour.
I can lift it. Well, oh yeah, I know the whole house. I could. This is my.
Yeah, but I think you can't turn this camera around, right? Like you can't do that, which is very dumb.
Oh, if it's on your phone?
No, on your laptop. You can't. I can't turn this camera around on here.
No, I've got a actual face cam.
Somebody just asked, is James moving? James already moved, and James
is this live?
That's James. That's James.
We are live. House.
No, are we live?
Yeah, we're live right now. Yeah, don't say anything. Don't say anything bad.
This is how we do things these days.
Hold on. You preface with that. You got to lead in.
I know. I totally.
Oh my God! I could have said something real fucked up.
He just gets live every time.
I totally assumed. I just assumed you knew for some reason because we've been doing them live.
You got to lead in with that, bro. That's a lead off. You got.
Sorry.
Guy was about to start talking shit.
I could have said anything.
He was ready.
James, how are you, man?
Good. Good, thank you. Very good.
We're talking about the upcoming classic matchup with the Open boys. And I asked the guys, I said, do you feel like there's a little bit of disrespect going around to
guys like Akeem and guys like
Rafa, Akeem, Sean Clarita, like guys that, are, I mean, maybe not as much Sean because he's a little bit smaller person, but like at least Akeem, Akeem's a fucking monster.
Yeah, I don't think it's disrespect. I think it's just that it's hard. Like people just kind of a bit infatuated, aren't they, with that matchup? Because obviously it's two really good. You've got Martin, you've got Chris. It's very easy to not really remember everyone else, not in a rude way, but the year these two have had.
If you figure Marty is the highest guy in the totem pole that's doing the prog, so you figure the top three aren't do it, Marty is right in line to win. So Marty is a favorite by default because of his placing at the Olympia. This is new waters to Chris. So that's I think this isn't disrespectful to Marty, but I think anybody that was the highest guy in the Olympia that was doing this show, this would be going on with Chris regardless of who it is. I don't think it's just because it's Marty.
I understand that, and maybe disrespect is too strong a word. Maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe
that's the wrong word. I feel like maybe people are overlooking. Maybe that's a better word because maybe disrespectful is too strong. But maybe
I could see that.
Maybe people are overlooking the fact that Rafa is a very good bodybuilder, and Akeem is very, very big. Listen, everybody talks about Akeem's back, and I don't disagree. But the only shot Akeem looks bad in is the back double bicep. Like his
And the
back
thing
lat,
is-
his back lat spread's fine.
He
Yeah,
just doesn't have his back double. Just it's the detail.
and Akeem just needs to be on. Like
Yeah. Well,
he was pretty fucking good at Olympia. Let's be honest, he was really good. Maybe a little bit, I say, overlooked.
But do you
But-
think kind of or James? You think you guys think it's maybe because they look at where Rafa placed and Akeem placed, and they're like, well, Marty's here, they placed here, so it's a bigger jump to make it a big deal about these guys.
Well,
Chris,
well,
the
sorry,
fourth
go
place guy versus
yeah,
Chris.
well, I think it's just that they're looking at who's the best bodybuilder on that stage right now. Marty's the number one guy on that stage when it comes to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Who's the best classic guy? It's Chris. And then who's the best? And then Sean's then who's the best 212 guy bar Keon. So you pick the three best in their division and you're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And then see what happens, I suppose.
It's funny that we're talking about this because I'm one of the people that overlooked Akeem and Rafa, if that's the word we're going to use, because when we were talking about before the Olympia happened, we would kind of fuck around on the podcast and say, where do we think Chris would place in the open? And I think at the time I said something like 7th or 8th. So I kind of had him ahead of Akeem and Rafa anyway. But now I'm kind of re-looking at things now that they're actually going to step on stage together. And I'm like, Paul said to me, he's like, me and Paul had like a side conversation, and he said it on the last podcast too. But Paul's like, he's going to be giving up a lot of size to somebody like Akeem. He's like, I just don't know if he's going to be able to overcome that. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly.
I know where I saw the difference in Marty's physique and Chris's.
One sec. I just want to look at this lat spread. Like
crazy.
This is a good lat spread, man. He's dug out right now. Like his conditioning's good. It needs to be a little bit better, I think, to stand, with Chris and not be like outshone condition wise. But like, he's got some really good detail going on.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's whether Chris's detail stands out next to these guys or not.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, we just don't know because it hasn't been, no one in the open has what Chris's look is. So you can't really compare like that. So it's just until they're on stage.
I have a couple questions, James. Number one, do you think Chris will lose a little bit of that trademark detail if he's
a bit fuller,
if he's overly full, or do you think or do you think they'll make sure they don't cross that line?
I think it'd be hard for Chris to lose that detail. I don't think he'll be that much fuller. I think he'll be fuller, but I don't think he'll be that much that it causes a problem with detail. And Marty's obviously training with Chris quite a bit these days, so I imagine he's got a sneak peek. So I don't think he'll lose much detail.
Do you think even at his fullest, it's still going to be, because look, like when Ian talks about bodybuilding, Ian is a condition hawk. So Ian's always talking about detail and insertions, and I definitely agree with him on those points. But open bodybuilding is about muscle at the end of the day.
Oh, for sure. That's why if you look at the Olympic, the guys with the most, like the thickness, the density are getting called out.
Right. So I guess what I'm asking, and Martin, I don't mean to leave you out. I just, because you're already at the top. I'm looking at some of the other guys. Yeah, no, I'm just looking at some of the other guys.
We don't want your opinion and have more people hate you, Marty.
I guess I'm just thinking, like, with someone like Akeem, is he going to be too thick? Because even like Akeem's front double is beautiful. So sorry, before we go on, Roman, hello, how are you, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
Roman,
did you just get done training?
Yeah.
What's wrong with your elbow? Did you hurt yourself?
Yeah, I'm just icing it.
Oh, okay, but not any damage, not any real damage.
He's just keeping on top of stuff.
I'm always hurt.
Yeah, well,
came on the podcast.
That's what happens.
Tiger.
That's what happens when you train fucking twice a day for 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm really. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, James. I just wanted to, and I'll ask Roman after the same question because
that's it. Like when anyone's asked me, like obviously we have discussions in the gym. People are interested, and I like I say, there's a density that the open guys have. Majority of them have that. I'm just interested to see how Chris stacks up with that. 'Cause it's not quite the same look. Chris reminds me of like Dorian in like '92.
Yeah,
like that armor plated, flatter but fucking really hard.
Yeah,
but not with the same pop. But then you're gonna have, and then the thing is, you're gonna have guys like obviously Martin has outstanding condition and thickness. And if Akeem comes in on point with outstanding condition and thickness, that's where I'm just super interested to see how it all sells.
Is Rafa the kind of wild card because he's got a more classic open bodybuilding shape? Like, is
I
he?
feel like with Rafa, man, I feel like he just needs to come in peeled. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I like Rafa a lot, and I'm not taking away from him. I think he's what I've seen of him this year. I still think he can be better. And I know it's difficult because obviously he's working with Neil. They're trying to figure out his body. It's a totally new thing going on, and he looked great. He's 8th for the world, but
Yeah.
I'd like to see him a bit more conditioned because I think it will make his physique look so much fucking better. And that's where I think it will look stronger. Because Chris next to Rafa right now, for me, I feel like Chris could be very dangerous next to Rafa because I
Right.
feel like Rafa does need to actually be a bit harder to stand with Chris.
Right.
That's
I agree.
But
Yeah.
again, that's just me.
Roman, what do you think about somebody like Akeem standing next to Chris? Is it going to be too much, or is Chris's detail and insertions and condition going to be enough to overcome Akeem? Because, like a lot of people say, like I've heard this a million times, like, and I agree with it. Chris doesn't have to be as big to beat them necessarily, but he does have to be close. He can't be giving up like inches and inches around. You know what I mean? So, what do you think, Roman? Do you feel like it's going to be hard for Chris, or what do you think?
I've seen Akeem beat a lot of more aesthetic and harder looking guys than he is.
That's true.
For example, in Tampa in 2016, and then again in Tampa in 2022. He basically, everyone who placed behind him was more aesthetically pleasing and also harder.
Right.
And Akeem
So much muscle
is so overwhelmingly big. It's and we're still this is still an open bodybuilding show.
Right.
So we're still competing in open bodybuilding.
Right.
There was a comparison
Can
that
I show you?
of
Sorry.
Marty. There was a comparison that guy did, Marty. I don't know if you saw it. It was a view of Chris. And like one, Chris's shots from the back are incredible. His back, for classic, his back double back lat spread. They went to the back. That was where I thought you really could tell the difference between a classic guy and an open, because the back double you versus Chris, the amount of thickness from front to back is so overpowering, because Chris had to be restricted in a weight cap and he's taller. But that in his back double and your back double, that's where I could, in my opinion, you could clearly see the difference of a more muscle mass guy versus a classic guy.
I think the main difference is going to come in the front and back shots, because when you stand from the front and open up, like in a front double, not necessarily lat spread, like Chris has got a great lat spread, but when you're standing in a front double or a back double, that's where all your gaps show. So if your physique isn't fully developed, which is weird to say about Chris because he's a 6-time Mr. Olympia, but when I say fully developed, I mean like maxed out muscle wise. Chris could fill out that frame pretty heavily if he really wanted to. So what I'm saying is, when he's standing next to an open guy in that front and back double, the gaps in the legs, the gaps in the arms, those kind of things are going to start to show. I think, and that's where he might slide a bit.
But that's where I wonder if the detail will take your eye and take you away from the gaps. Because it's been done. I've seen, like, I don't know, like guys like what's his name, the 212 Brazilian guy, Eduardo Correa? Yeah, so Correa, for example, I've seen 212s with more full muscle than him, but him beat them because it's so much detail. You kind of just like, I don't know, you can be very drawn to detail sometimes. So that's where I feel like Chris has got so much, that front lat spread.
Yeah,
it's fucking wild.
Well, his best shots are that front lat spread and the side chest.
For sure.
Those are his best shots.
But then, like Guy said, when he turns around, unfortunately, that level of like density that's really important to have a powerful back pose just isn't there. And that's where he's going to have a hard time, like I say, against any of these guys who have got that. I think.
I wanted to say something too. We've been talking about Akeem as if, he's just a mass monster, and he's not really. He actually is. Like, if you look at his front double, for example, if I can find one here somewhere, he's actually pretty aesthetic for a guy his size. Like, that's a small fucking waist.
Yeah, dude, in all those years, and he hasn't even blown out his waist. Like, he's been around a while.
Yeah, and he lifts. People talk about, well, you can't squat heavy and you can't do this heavy, and he's done all of that, and his waist is still tight. So it's like, this is a matchup I'm really like. If he looks like this, I like it's gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah.
I really want to see Hakeem and Raf in that kind of that condition that we're seeing there.
Rafa would be. I think the other reason people are saying Chris might be able to beat the two of them is because their weak points are also his weak points. Like
Okay.
Rafa and Hakeem are not as good from the back as they are from the side and front.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I think they're thinking, well, Chris also might not be as good from the back, so he'll be able to compare with the two of them. So I'm not sure.
I think the thing I think Chris can be anywhere from second all the way to fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
But I think, like James said, he has so much detail. Your eye is going to be drawn to him a lot. Also, you guys just saw it with me at the Olympia, bro. I weighed 235 on stage. Samson
Right.
was 305. So, like, it's about how you pose an illusion. And
Yeah.
Chris is very, very good at that.
For sure.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying, Martin? Like, look at this photo.
I 100%.
Just for the people watching, like this is going to be the difference. Okay, when you look at Chris, you're like, okay, beautiful waist, amazing flow, all of that. But then if you look at Martin, you still got amazing flow. But then if you look at the legs, you see the dramatic
fucking sweep on.
You see the dramatic difference in legs, and you see the dramatic difference in arms, and then you start to go, okay, wait a minute, I see some differences now.
Yeah.
So it's like. And I don't think Chris will look like this. Like he's going to be more filled out.
Yeah.
But is he going to fill out this much? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I think like exactly what you're talking about. Like these are the shots you can kind of tell, but like my adductors fill the gap completely.
Right.
My triceps are fully hanging all the way, as well as my biceps fill the gap. Like, I think those are the small things, like you said, that like Chris doesn't have that will compare to open guys. And like you said, maybe Akeem can bridge that gap where he fills in those spots enough, and Chris is filled out too much, and maybe the detail isn't as good. Then maybe he can slide past him. But I do think there is some shots that Chris beats all of us in. Like this.
What ones do you think? What shots do you like?
I think his front lat spread and his side chest are both very, very good.
They are incredible. They are incredible.
I want to ask all you guys, because me and Ian had a pretty heated debate on the last podcast.
Of course you did.
Ian said that. So Martin, I'm going to give you the front lat spread. I think Chris's front lat spread is potentially the best in the league right now.
Part of that is his mobility too, man. All of us big open guys, you start to lose some of that, and he opens up so beautifully.
Well, the thing I was going to say, me and Ian had this crazy debate on the weekend. On the last podcast, Ian thinks that, and we corrected it, so I don't want to misquote him. We got into a debate where he originally said that Chris had the best side chest in the entire open league. And I disagreed with that vehemently.
Okay.
But then we kind of brought it back to Chris poses it the best and is the most statuesque, but doesn't necessarily beat everybody in the side chest.
Okay.
The second statement I can agree with. The first statement I couldn't.
Okay.
So do you guys think Chris has the best side chest in bodybuilding?
No.
I think pose-wise, yeah, you're right.
Like it's the way he poses it, yeah.
Yes. 100%. But filling in all the gaps, there's definitely people that hit.
Again, with Chris, it's like I think he has the best lines in that shot.
Yeah.
But he lacks the size that will be Mr. Olympia. So where do you draw the line?
It's like how many boxes does he check off?
Exactly.
It's like let's just look at this shot here. In this side chest, would you give this shot to Chris or Martin?
Martin,
because of roundness and fullness, it goes to Martin. Like that's the side chest for an open bodybuilder. Chris is just really blessed genetically, also with just the lines are just in the right place, isn't it? Like on his legs and shit. Look at the lines and the fucking
all of this.
Yeah, even the chest, like the chest lines are fucking wild as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can have that once you're a bigger, like a really big guy. It just tends to disappear a little bit.
Look at the size of the delts, how much that difference is in the delts. As you see the actual size difference in the delts.
I guarantee everybody here can agree as well. When you were lighter and younger and earlier in your bodybuilding, your lines are probably even more fucking apparent.
Yeah.
I said this to Paul yesterday. We were talking about, because a lot of people are like, well, if Chris gained 20 pounds, if Chris gained 30 pounds, he could beat everybody. And I was like, that might be true, but it's not going to look like he looks now.
No, he looks
like if you look at like take Ian, for example. If you look at Ian when he was smaller, his
glutes were crazy.
His striations and everything were far deeper.
Yep.
And you can actually pinpoint that with like every bodybuilder. There's a period of time where like they get so much, they get so muscular that it starts to almost blur the separation a little bit.
Yep. Saturated, you get saturated with muscle, and then like those insertions, like even like if you look at like quadriceps, what happens when you fill those gaps? Like muscle pushes on muscle, it tends to just blur shit out, doesn't it?
Let's see if this is okay, back shot. And this is what Guy's talking about.
Yeah.
Like the thickness of that hamstring, the quad sweep out here,
back,
like
mid back.
Well, no, the back, the shoulders. I mean, you see the shoulder difference here. Like it's dramatically different.
Yeah.
So there's a big there's a very big difference in the back shots. So let's see if we go to a lat spread. I don't know if they probably don't have a lat spread for Chris. So that's it. They just have the 3 shots. That's a pretty cool comparison they did.
I think it's exciting. It's funny when I
them all.
Okay.
So the one.
Yeah, I saw one that had more poses as well.
That Fernando guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Fernando
Arroyo, right? It's like
All I know is that you boys, the few of you that are doing this show, have made bodybuilding pretty exciting, because like every one of us tried to get like, as soon as I heard that news, I was like kind of peaked up. My interest was leveled up, so it's good. I'm actually like more excited for some reason than the Olympia, so it's really cool.
Oh, Fernando, I follow him. I want to show you this before we go to Fernando's page. Roman, what do you think about this? That's pretty close. I mean, I don't know.
That's what I mean, because the lines aren't there for Rafa needs the condition, because he's not big enough to get away with it.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think he's big, but I don't think he's big enough to get away with it. And I know that's not an exact size comparison, but I think because Rafa's got some new muscle, which is why I'm saying give him and Neil credit. He's put on a lot of muscle, but when that muscle hasn't been on you for a long time, I think it's at risk of being lost when you diet hard. So they've probably played it a little bit safer this year to remain larger. I do definitely think he can be
but he looks watery for sure.
He's not as tight as he can be.
Okay. 1 second. Let's ignore the conditioning for 1 second. If he's in a little bit better condition than this, can he beat Chris?
Yes.
Yes, I think so, because you also have to take into consideration we're just looking at 2D pictures, and you have to look at the whole show in its flow from the moment they walk on stage, right one after another, to the moment they set up the pose and then they actually in the pose.
Right.
For example, imagine Chris walks on stage, right behind him is Martin, right behind him is Akeem.
Yeah.
The way Chris's legs will look on stage walking compared to Martin's legs wobbling around, compared to Akeem's horse legs, and then when they set up the poses and the side chest, for example, before they have their legs pushed against each other to make him look bigger and all that, when there's gaps showing, you can see the size difference in Chris's limbs compared to Martin's limbs, compared to Akeem's limbs, because right now we're only looking at the finished pose in perfection in 2D, and we're not looking at in motion actual show footage,
the transitions.
Yes.
Martin, do you think a lot of people say it doesn't matter, the flow and detail is so great that it doesn't matter if he's giving up a couple inches here and a couple inches there? How do you address that?
If that was true, then Raph would be an Arnold Classic champ or something like that.
Yeah, he would have won the Arnold earlier in the year.
Right. But hold on. The pushback to that is Raph doesn't have the detail that Chris has.
Correct. His conditioning is not that.
Right.
Okay,
So that's what people are saying is like.
Let me give you a better example.
1 second. People are basically saying this. Nobody in the open class has this type of separation with this type of detail.
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough to overcome maybe a smaller arm or not as full a leg?
I do think in some cases, yes, for sure.
Could the argument be you could just that's due to lack of actual muscle? Because if he had more muscle, he wouldn't. If he had another 20 pounds, he's not going to be as detailed as he is in those shots with 20.
I know, but let's just take what we're looking at here. So let's pretend Chris is 255 because he's going to fill out more. He's going to be not have to look like get so peeled, right? So let's say he's 255 with that type of condition. What people are saying is basically because of the level of condition, because of the level of detail, it doesn't matter if he's missing a couple inches on the arms or a couple inches on the legs.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think you have to have wow factor to overcome that. So I think you have to be a really good bodybuilder to beat Chris. Like, let's to put it in perspective, is like you said, is like Chris is in a top 8, probably top 10 bodybuilder open.
Right.
So like you still have to be a badass open bodybuilder to beat him. But if you are, you're gonna overcome those things because that's how bodybuilding works, right? I mean, and also to put it in perspective, Classic's weight cap goes up by 10 pounds an inch, right? So to put it in perspective for you, say Chris's weight cap is 245, right? At 6'1".
Yeah.
My weight cap is 195. I weigh 240 on stage, 235 on stage.
I get it. Yeah.
So Chris would need another 50 pounds above his cap. Maybe not quite that much because of his frame, but probably 30 more pounds to be equivalently as thick as me.
Right.
And then think about him and Samson are the same height.
Right.
Samson is 305 on stage.
Right.
This is 245 on stage. That's 60 pounds of muscle, guys. Right. So like that's how you overcome it. If you want to,
I think people's opinion is actually there's a middle ground. It's like I think they're right. Chris, because of his flow and detail, doesn't have to be as big as Samson. But he has to be closer. Like there's a midway point where
you get away with maybe 5 to 10 pounds.
Yeah.
But say getting away with like 40 pounds, 50 pounds, it's gonna still show.
What do we think?
Or like Martin says, of the equivalent stature, that weight being,
Yeah. All right, I'll give you guys another one. Guy, what do you think about Sean Clarita? Because Sean is not gonna be, I mean, he's definitely more muscular as far as like the dimensions, but he's a smaller statured person. So will Chris have an easier time with someone like Sean?
I think he would, yeah, because Chris, even though he might not be heavily muscled, he's a lot more muscled than Sean, period. And he comes in peeled and he has the aesthetics and the shape for it. So I think Sean's going to do well in this show, but I don't think this is one that Sean's going to beat guys like Chris or Martin.
Okay. Do you think just to?
I think he. I think if
do you think he can beat someone like? Do you think he can beat someone like Rafa or Akeem?
Well, Akeem, the way Akeem looks now, I don't believe so. The way Rafa looked in that picture, I think he could.
Yeah. What about?
But Rafa's been placing higher than Akeem.
Yeah.
That like that side chest right there, like if you take that and put Sean's side chest next to Rafa, I just think even though Sean's smaller, I mean Sean looks enormous in the side chest and he's peeled.
Okay.
Yeah, and Sean has beaten Sergio and Regan.
Yeah.
Look at the scale of this. Martin's like humongous.
7 foot tall. Let's go.
No, the reason I pulled this up is to look at Horse.
Horse.
I think if Horse is shredded, then he might have a problem. That's a little better one there.
I didn't even know he was doing it.
Yeah. The problem, I think Horse has a good chance of beating Chris too, but I don't know if he brings the conditioning he needs to bring.
He's been too heavy at these last few shows, hasn't he?
Yeah, like
They're
The
weak in the
Arnolds.
same spots again, like you said.
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
Roman
yeah.
doing it?
Who?
Oh,
No, not Roman. Dino.
Ramon.
I don't think so.
Ramon.
there's utters, isn't there? There's utters where like
Yeah.
people are muttering. Yeah.
I don't know if Ramon is big enough. Like Chris is bigger than Ramon,
Yeah.
especially in just structure alone. So I think part of the reason Chris can even do this is just because his bone structure is so big.
Yeah.
That he can get away with it. Some of these other guys, I don't think can do it. Like, I don't think Ramon is big enough yet. He'd have to put on a lot more muscle. But this is a good comparison here of the three.
I mean, if you notice for me, like these guys, if you look at the open guys compared to Chris, like just look at all their shoulders compared to Chris, and you can just in the shoulders alone, you can notice the depth difference
Yeah.
of all three of those guys versus, and that's where then you can, once you see that, then you can start looking around and comparing other body parts and kind of see how front to back thickness plays a really big part of why we're saying what we're saying.
Well, I mean, look at the leg too. Like, look at the fucking the sweep on this
Yep.
fucking leg is
Like
like
this.
right. And Chris has a pretty good sized quad, but it's so crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's really, really interesting. Let's see what the chat's saying. Let's see. Horse has no back. Well,
He has a back. It's just insertions are not very good, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not a strong point. That's for sure. C-Bum will have trouble with the legs and back. What else we got here? Ramon looks like Flex Wheeler with no drama. I don't know what that means. There's a chance Chris might look too stringy. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a possibility standing next to guys that are, they got that much.
It's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them, though, isn't it?
Guys, not because he's gonna look stringy because he's next to guys that are bigger. I think this is gonna be the fullest he's been, but I think by default he's gonna look skinny because he's next to bigger guys.
Agree.
We also have to consider like what is Chris's best look, because maybe if he's fuller, he might not look as good for him.
I'm gonna.
You know what I mean? Everybody has a certain weight. You know what I mean? Everyone has a certain weight when they look their best, and Chris's physique's on point at the weight that we see him on stage. When he's a little bit fuller, it could be fuller in the areas that I'm spitting my food out. Fuller in the areas that don't perhaps need to be. You just don't know yet.
I'm going to predict that this is going to be the best Chris we've ever seen.
I hope it is, because that's why I think everyone's so excited about the show.
So then I have a question for you.
What?
If by chance, let's just play the fucking if card. Marty, you don't have to answer this. If Chris wins, does Chris do the Olympia?
You said he would, didn't he?
Listen, if Chris wins, then that means the only people in the world that are better than him are other Mr. Olympias.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking wild. And I don't know if he wants to do it, but it would be fucking crazy to see, because now you have three Mr. Olympias and a 6-time classic guy all on the same fucking stage. Like, I don't know.
Marty's starting to already itch thinking about it. He's like, "You fucking motherfucker."
Martin's yawning. He's like, "I got this shit."
Martin's like, "I ain't gonna take my shine.
Don't worry about it."
I'm just wondering, like, if you think he'd be like, you know what, I'm good, I'm retiring, or do you think he would push it another year? Because that's another year now.
I'm gonna guess that he's retiring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess he's doing this for fun, and even if he wins, he's probably gonna bail. But it's really good marketing for his company, because if he does win, he's forever gonna be invited to the Open
He's
or
gonna be like Vic Richards.
Yeah, he can just sit back and be like the mysterious, like, could he have won the Open, right?
Yep.
Who knows what's going on with Romania? Does anybody know who's doing Romania other than Akeem and Rafa?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Horse is also doing it as well.
Horse is doing Romania as well. I really like Horse's physique, man. I hope he can get shredded. I really think he's got a
Horse has got some fucking strong body parts, mate.
Dude, I love his legs are incredible, front to back.
Crazy. Biceps are good.
His arms and chest are great. His waist is a little bit wide, but he pulls a good vacuum. And then his back needs to come up. But he's a well put together bodybuilder.
This is why I think with Horse, if he just comes in a bit lighter, watches that waistline, I think it'll be an improved look.
You think his waist is wide, or you think his waist looks wide because his back needs to come up?
No, I think when he's not, what I've noticed, and maybe I'm wrong, but what I've noticed is when he's not in the vacuum pose, it's a little bit wider.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. It might be because his lats don't flow from the front.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Because you can tell guys that have like a small, like Akeem has a smaller waist, even though
Right.
he's
that's just pop out.
more latch, you can still see he's
Right.
got a small waist. Like,
Right,
does he
right.
have wide hips, or are they
It looks to me like Horse has a little bit wider hip.
straight up and down? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Horse also grew quite fast, and obviously it takes a lot of eating. But like
Yeah.
he put on quite a lot of muscle between his last
But he's
few
not.
years.
But his waist isn't like distended this way, James. It's this way.
It's more oblique.
It's a it's a width thing. It's not a like a distension.
And like I say,
Somebody,
big lats would help, wouldn't they? Like, like
Oh,
think
yeah.
of an abs and thigh shot, like Dorian
Yeah.
get you.
yeah. Somebody just said, I forgot Amir was doing the show too. I don't know if Amir, Martin, do you know if Amir is doing Prague?
Yeah, I think so actually.
So is Amir probably gets the most shredded out of everybody in that lineup. Does that move him up, or is he going to be giving up too much mass to some of these guys? Because Amir's not necessarily the roundest guy.
I still think shape and mass are not quite up to par with the rest of these guys.
Yeah, it's a balance thing too, because his upper body is, bro, he's huge. Honestly, he weighs like,
I know, but he's more of a torso dominant bodybuilder. Like his limbs.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah.
because of the balance, his legs, it's still like you can be as peeled as you want, but when you don't have that balance, it's just hard to beat.
This guy, Huffed Spec says Amir will take over. Mark my words. I'll take that. I'll take that bet.
Take over.
100% take that bet.
I love you.
Look how vascular. Sorry, I'm just going to say that. Look how vascular Roman is just sitting there.
What's that?
Oh, look how vascular Roman is just sitting there.
I don't know why Roman diets. He could just go on stage all year round.
No, Roman, you start talking and your veins start fucking blowing out of your arms. Like, what's wrong with you?
I have high blood pressure.
It's just high blood pressure. Don't worry.
Roman, how's your hips? Everything's working fine, or what?
Yeah, the hips are okay. I've got other issues going on. I've got my knee kind of hurts and my elbow hurts.
Why don't you train? Maybe train less. Maybe try training 5 days a week instead of 35 days a week.
Don't you train twice a day?
He's still doing twice a day, Martin. He won't stop. I've been trying to tell him to stop for 10 years. I think the very first time I met Roman, I was like, "Love your physique, man. You should train less."
You haven't done that once, Roman? You haven't even tried it to see if it like works?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, as a yes, or that sound like a yes.
How long did you try for though? Like 2 weeks, or like for real? Did you try it?
No, I actually did that for a year.
Did you really?
Yeah.
And how bad did it suck? Like, was it hard on you mentally, or was it just like, what did you notice?
I mean, back then I was healthier than now.
Yeah.
As far as joints concerned.
Yeah.
And I got so strong on all the lifts that everything started hurting because of that.
Oh, yeah. You're going
too strong for your own good.
Yeah.
One of those.
I did 5-plate front squat, 6-plate back squat, 4-plate decline press, and everything hurt. I was like, this shit sucks.
So what about mentally? Did you enjoy not training as much mentally, or do you need to go like twice a day to feel good?
I enjoyed it back then, but when everything hurt, I stopped enjoying it and I went back to the other stuff.
I'm surprised that everything doesn't hurt when you're training twice a day. I would think it would be the opposite. What if you just trained once a day but didn't try and max out your weight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop putting me on the spot.
Okay.
That's such a bodybuilder response. Yeah, that'd probably work, but
I just moved house and everything. And like nothing is in place like in my life right now.
Right.
I'm just happy to have one thing that has
the training. Yeah, I hear that, bro.
If I changed that now, I would be like,
fuck this.
Yeah. It's funny though that's actually true that he's saying that. I don't know if you guys all noticed that too, but no matter how fucked up my life has always been, it's the one constant that like it's like you can go back to it to kind of reset your brain.
That's why everyone says training is therapy, because it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Roman, you go balls to the wall both sessions, or is there a point where you back up or you back it off a little bit?
No, if I train, I'm training. You know, It's not like I don't do any reps in reserve for.
Yeah.
Everything's to failure. All 30 sets.
Every working set I do is at least till positive failure.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you do a lot of volume, like 20, 30 sets?
Yeah, my gauge is always like 20 sets per session, 24, somewhere around there.
This guy, Sal Marcus, asks, is Roman taking pre-workout in both sessions?
No, Roman doesn't take any pre-workout.
No, really?
Yeah.
Do you drink caffeine or anything before training or no?
I might have a cup of coffee, but I've noticed that when I hype myself up constantly,
yeah,
I can't recover for shit. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about it. You're training twice a day,
right?
And then you're shooting up 300-400 milligrams of caffeine for each session.
Right.
You're on 1,000, and then you're training like 6 days a week.
Right.
You're basically constant. Every day you're on a gram of caffeine.
Yeah.
What about like a stim free though?
That's basically my life though. I'm on 1,000 milligrams of caffeine anyway, and I don't train twice a day.
Yeah, I use some stim free stuff, but not always.
James,
I live on pre-workout, man. Fuck me, Jesus Christ.
So do I.
Yeah,
I literally
like 2.5
can't.
scoops, 500 caffeine. Let's go.
Really?
Every time.
I literally can't train without it.
No way. You take that much fucking, bro.
I don't do that. I do 300. My like one scoop is good for me.
I'll do like, if I do anything, it's like 125. I take anything more than that, I'm like, I want to jump out of my skin. I'm like, nope.
What? That's why I don't sleep till one.
I do more stim free. I do way more stim free.
Yeah,
I have too much fucking energy.
Martin, you're a stim free guy, right?
I just pretty much only do bloodshot.
Dude,
I would do the
bloodshot. Do you know what? You lot do all the you obviously all do the uprise and stuff. So you've got other joys. I've got no other joys. So I just do loads of
I don't use any. You know I don't use any uprise stuff.
You know what I mean?
I like these.
Well, these boys.
See, I don't drink, and I've never bought an energy drink in my life.
That surprises me.
Every once in a while, I do like one a day though.
I don't do those anymore. I was doing them mine.
I heard those things were fucking horrible for you.
Yeah, everything's horrible.
I was just going to say everything causes cancer in California.
Yeah, we're fucking.
I'm just saying there was a whole thing on that.
Martin, I want to ask you one more question about this before we get off off the Prague show. Is there a part of you that's anxious or nervous about it, or are you just like living in it because you're, you and Chris are kind of the talk of bodybuilding right now?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I mean, I'm enjoying the shit out of it, bro. I think it's really cool to be a part of. This is bodybuilding history, bro. This is something that everybody wants to see and everybody will want to watch. And like, this might be the most watched live stream ever. Like, who knows?
I think it will be. I feel like it will be.
It's definitely going to be.
Yeah, it's honestly, like, for me to see that I am being a part of the sport growing is really exciting for me because one, we're about to show everyone the difference between classes, and there's a lot of people out of that 25 million that follow Chris that think he's Mr. Olympia.
Right.
Like, you're like, motherfucker, I'm sure.
Samson. And there's a difference, bro. There really is a difference. But
are you happy to upset all of his fans?
Of course.
They're all going to be so mad at you. They're
going to
be so mad at you.
Hopefully they love me afterwards, The cool thing is, man, is like, if Chris was a super arrogant champion or something, like I'd have more of a chip on my shoulder to be like, I want to go make sure I'm going to beat him and like this type of thing. But honestly, man, like Chris is one of my best buddies.
Yeah.
I get to get on stage. It's kind of like how Samson and I are. Like, if he was to win, bro, I would go give him the biggest hug and be like, this is crazy, bro. Like, you just
right.
Imagine if Chris was like Blessing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like WWE shit.
Blessing's not a bad guy. He just likes to play it up.
Blessing,
he plays it up for the camera.
Exactly, especially off the camera. Blessing is awesome. But no, so because of that, man, like I'm just excited to be a part of it. Chris and I, honestly, like if you guys have been watching my YouTube, you get to see that like Chris and I were we had talks of this 3-4 weeks out from the Olympia.
Right.
And I was really trying to twist his arm to do it because it's like I see the potential of how this is going to grow bodybuilding, how exciting this is, and like, man, as a European fan, I know like James and Roman, you guys really understand this, but like most of those people can't fly to the Olympia. Most of those people have never got to see some of the bodybuilders they really want to see. So for them in Europe, like right now, I've had so many messages like, I bought my plane ticket to Prague before I even got my show ticket, but I'll be there. I'm going to be standing outside the venue watching the pay-per-view. Like, people are so excited, man. And like, for me to be a part of that and see bodybuilding, like, man, it's going like this. Like, I can't wait to see where our sport goes in the next couple of years. So
do you guys think that, so let's say Chris has 25 million fans, right? And somebody just said 25 million don't even watch bodybuilding shows. Let's say half, a quarter, a fucking eighth of his fans watch the show. Let's say a million people, a million of his fans watch the show. Do you think that will be good for bodybuilding or bad for bodybuilding? Do you think those people will watch the show and look at open bodybuilders and go, like, look, I'll tell you this. One of the things I learned when I had Sam as part of HOSSTILE is a lot of those people don't know who open bodybuilders are. They thought Sam was like the biggest bodybuilder on earth.
Yep.
So I guess what I'm trying to get at is maybe some of Chris's fans are that way. So when they see this show, are they going to go, holy fuck, these guys are awesome. Look how big they are. Or are they going to go, that's fucking disgusting. Chris should win. Like, is it going to be good for bodybuilding or bad?
Both.
But overall, is it going to be a net positive or negative?
Positive. Because any positive out of it is a positive.
Yeah.
Getting eyes on the sport is a good thing, isn't it?
That's my point. So even if you get 100 new people, that's 100 new people for what? It's a positive.
I just hope that like some of these people have never seen a bodybuilding show. Let's say they follow Chris and they decide to watch the show. I just hope that they see it and they see the open class with admiration instead of looking at it and going, oh, those guys just take more juice.
Well, you know what I think it'll do, dude, too? I think people, now that they'll see guys like Marty next to Chris and Chris filled out, and then everybody has the view or go back and see what Chris looked like as classic. If it does anything, it might help these guys that are on the fence of possibly competing figure out if they want to go left or they want to go right, because now they have Chris full blown, not really full blown, but in a way full blown, and then you have Chris as classic. So I think you'll finally get people like, you know what, I can do this, or you know what, I'd rather chase that.
Right. Go ahead, Martin. Sorry.
A little bit. I think we would see a negative pushback if we had a bunch of like mass monster, like freaky bodybuilders that like don't really have the lines and stuff to compare with Chris. But really, the guys that have committed to this are all very aesthetic as well. So I think it's a nice way to ease people into open bodybuilding, if you will. Like Raph is very aesthetic. I'm very aesthetic. Horse Pole's a great vacuum and is very aesthetic, you know. And we all care about posing and stuff too, which I think is also gonna help kind of solidify some of these people becoming fans of open, or at least fans of a few open bodybuilders, which will then open the door for them to like the actual sport.
So I agree with some of that, but I think for me, what I noticed with normal people, I shouldn't say normal people.
Normies.
What I've noticed for people that don't watch bodybuilding, when they watch bodybuilding, the thing that they notice the most or that they understand the most about it is conditioning. Because it's the easiest thing to see, right? So they're going to see Chris up there. To them, listen, I know this is going to sound crazy to people, but I sit with my family sometimes and show them bodybuilding stuff. This is what they say. They're all the same size.
Yeah.
So they're going to look at you, Akeem, Chris, Sean Clear, to go, they're all the same size.
They all look great.
And then what they're going to do is pick out the guy who's most shredded, which is probably going to be Chris or like Amir, and be like, that guy looks the best. So it's like, I don't know if it's going to be incumbent upon the commentators. I think Giles and AJ are doing it to try and use this as a teachable moment for people that are watching for the first time, to explain to them why so-and-so is ahead of so-and-so and what it means. So
and this is next Saturday.
2 weeks.
17th.
Yeah, not this Saturday.
16th and 17th.
It's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Two
right?
two Saturdays.
Yeah,
two
okay,
Saturdays.
yeah. 2 weeks. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Separate question. Everybody has moved over to Stefan. So Martin, do you want them all to fuck off or what? It's like you're like, I was already here, bitches. What the fuck? Like all of a sudden, like I think is it like Nick, Sean? Like is everybody just gone over to Stefan?
Nick didn't go with Stefan.
Nick is not with Boss.
Oh, that's all rumor.
No, that was just a clickbait post.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought he actually went over.
Because everybody thought he was, so he.
Okay, so Nick didn't go. Did Sean go? Sean went over though. I heard that was legit.
Sean is with Boss, yes.
Okay, so then what about anybody else? Has anybody else gone over?
Let's just say this. Since I had my success at the Olympia, there's been 8 open bodybuilders plus that have reached out to Boss.
I reached out to Boss. I was like, I saw what you did with Martin.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's awesome for him. I think some of these guys think that success just came from him, and obviously that's not true. But he's a genius. But I think now he's also seeing that it's time to kind of keep the team tight knit and not take everybody on because everybody wants to come now. So, I mean, as long as they're good people and they treat him well and he doesn't get any stress from it, I think that's the biggest thing, because I think he can handle as much client load and stuff like that as possible. But I think Stefan is somebody that really takes energy from his athletes.
Right.
And I think a lot of people that are negative would weigh down on him. So I think that that's the most important thing, is that we just keep the people that work with him good people that bring him passion to the sport, and I think we'll be just fine.
It blows my mind to watch how fast people will fucking leave a coach to go to another coach as fast as they do, just based on success of somebody else. It blows. Some people actually leave a coach even in the middle of being successful, just because they saw what somebody else's coach did with them. It's mind-blowing.
It's funny you said that about Stefan getting phone calls. You know who's getting a lot of phone calls? Marlena.
Yeah, I bet.
Samson's wife is getting blown the fuck up.
I bet she is, bro.
And she's like, I'm just focused on Samson. I don't want to be a coach. Yeah.
But deserving, because she killed it. She did an awesome job.
Right.
No, I mean,
can you confirm or deny if Brett is going with Stefan, since that just makes sense?
I mean, I'm not going to confirm or deny, but let's just say, like, we spend every day together. That's the only thing that makes sense. If Brett wanted to do something else, I'm not going to tell him that he can't. But right now, he knows what my thoughts are, and there's no other option for him but that.
James, how's your experience with Stefan? You seem like
you're
size and you're doing good.
We're pretty relaxed, bro. I just chat shit most of the time. You know what I mean? Like, not even.
What do you mean? You and him just fuck around?
Yeah, like talk about McLaren, like his car, and fucking like he's in London now shopping. Like, I just.
What do you mean talk about his car? I didn't know anything about his car. He's got a fucking nice car.
Badass.
Is he a car guy?
Oh,
that's right. He told me he went
he's Formula One.
He used to be a kart racer.
Bro, he's a Formula One motorhead.
I gotta have a talk about his cars.
The thing with Stefan is, like, I know he's again, like Martin said, his character. So I don't try to be too.
James, can you shave your back next time you do this?
No, it's for you, bro. I'm even hairy for the fucking the cheekers, bro. That is pretty fucking hairy, though.
Dude, look how your back is so big. Your ass looks tiny now. What the fuck?
You are a monster.
Well, I've got white. There's white, but the pants are white.
You can't even walk through that fucking door, bro.
Our doors at the shed are small. I made it like that way on purpose.
Fuck you. No, they're not.
Just to make us feel better about ourselves.
Yeah, it looks
the amount of tissue that you carry on your frame is fucking crazy.
It's an old pic. Is that the only recent one here?
This is a fasted shot on the left. These are fasted.
Look at the hair.
Hair's great, isn't
it? What does Yannicka think of that?
Oh, she loves it, man.
Does she?
No.
Does she? Bro.
Does she? Your legs come back really well, eh?
James, you look the best I've ever seen you, bro. I think.
I feel my digestion. I had the chronic done, innit? And I feel like my stomach's been better since.
Yeah, bro. So, your waist is like the best it's been.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing planks, and that's courtesy of Stefan.
your mobility seems to be better too.
Yeah, I get treatment like twice a week, so I'm trying to like make sure I stay on top of that shit. But you know, the old dog ain't done yet, mate.
Roman,
I know.
Hey,
Roman-
what's the?
Sorry, go ahead, guy.
No, I was going to ask what's the deal with the cereal thing? Is that because Nick, we saw the post. Is he a big, because cereal, I've done that before, but that's like,
Bro, everyone does
everybody's
that.
posting it like it's new. And I'm like,
it's 90% of bodybuilders.
Is that what he does? Does he use that?
Yeah, sometimes it depends on your skin.
Whatever's easy to digest.
Guys, I got to ask you this question because people are not going to stop until I ask it. I bathe my dog like once a month.
Wait.
Just let me ask the fucking. Just let me ask the fucking question, please. And I think Guy's the only one that's going to be. Martin, you don't have a dog, do you?
Yeah, we have a pug.
Oh, you have a pug. Okay. Well, that's a small dog, though. It doesn't count.
I didn't hear this, but I already know. I didn't listen to the podcast, but I have an idea. I saw the caption. I have an idea where this is going. But go ahead.
So I have a walk-in shower. Okay.
Okay, so do I.
So I'm taking a shower, and my dog.
I can tell you right now, I would do the same thing.
Okay.
Roman, your opinion on weird
Roman's
shit
the
doesn't
best.
matter.
Roman, no, because Roman's a real man. That's why he's like, okay.
He is a real man.
So I have a walk-in shower, and
Okay.
my dog needs a bath. So I fucking open the shower. He comes in while I'm showering. I give him a bath, and then I get him out, and my wife dries him off, and I finish my shower.
Yeah.
Somehow that really tripped out Paul and Ian. Like I was doing something like homoerotic or like some bestiality shit. I'm like, I'm just giving him a bath.
No, that's not
what is the problem?
Swim trunks to give
This
him
guy,
a
this guy, Sloth UK says Fouad is definitely into bestiality.
I mean,
Guy, you have
each
two
their
big
own,
dogs.
bro.
Guy, you have two big dogs.
Yep.
Is that I know you don't wash them in the shower, but if you did, would you think that was weird?
I don't, but I have.
You have.
Yes.
But you also don't have a walk-in shower. You have a tub.
No, I have a walk-in.
Oh, you have a walk-in shower. Yeah, I feel like it's different because then you just open the door
No,
and they walk.
I'll say this. Mine's a yes with an asterisk, though.
Are you wearing a bathing suit?
I go on with like underwear, like my boxers on.
But don't you think that's weird? Like you're standing in the shower in a pair of boxers?
What?
You're standing in the shower in a pair of boxers. Like you feel stupid?
Yeah, but I have two diverters. So I have one overhead and one with my hand.
But hold on a minute, guys.
So I keep my boxers
standing there.
Let's just say it. Just say it. Let's just say it. I'll say it. You don't want the pup. You don't want to be not paying attention and get a little.
Like, I don't know what your dogs are.
A cold nose.
No, wait a minute. I don't know what your dogs are like in the shower, but my dog just sits there because he doesn't want to really be in there.
He like freezes.
So he's not like moving all around and like I don't have to worry about him hitting my fucking dick. He just sits there and lets me fucking scrub him and then I get him out. So I'm like, I don't know what this like panic is about. His head might touch my cock. Like it just seems.
Hey, listen, he might think it's a snack.
Little sausage.
Roman, are these guys insane? Is it just me?
I don't think it's a big deal. If you're asking me, I don't think it's a big fucking deal. I don't know why people
Phil LaRusso, an avid watcher of the show, says, "Bro, I have 4 dogs, and ain't no chance I'm doing that." I just don't think it's a big deal. I don't know why. James,
I don't think.
James, what do you think?
I don't mind. I think if you're close with your dog, do whatever you want.
You wash your cat naked?
I'm being fucking serious here. Why would you stand? Because that's the thing. If you said to me, just put him in the bath or take him to the groomer, that's actually a okay, fine. But if you say to me, put a pair of balls.
Yeah, that's why do you froze?
Did he freeze?
Frozen.
It's me. Okay.
He's frozen now.
He's frozen like
this. So
what? I'm back.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do because it's his Zoom call.
I'm back.
There you go. There you go.
Sorry, guys.
We lost you.
We lost you. We're making because you got stuck like this.
But
how did we get from Stefan to dogs biting you?
Because Fouad's driving the truck.
Because the guys in the chat were asking, so I had to ask the question just to get them to stop asking it.
So go finish what you want to say.
I'm with you on this, Fouad. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right?
Let's
That's
be,
You're about to ask something about me, about the
let's
boxers.
be honest, you're gonna have to fucking take a shower after you wash the fucking dog anyways.
And why am I
Yeah.
wetting? Why am I standing in there in my boxers? Like, how does that make
Well,
sense?
I normally, so if I wash my dogs, I'll normally go to the gym and wash them after I wash the dogs after the gym. So my boxers are already dirty. So then I'll go in the shower, wash the dogs, and then take my boxers off and fucking.
It's not about your
myself
boxers
down.
being dirty or not. I'm saying, what's the point of wearing your boxers in the shower?
To protect the schmeckle.
Are your dogs like that? Like they want to?
No, bro. I'm short. I'm lower to the ground than you. You know, my dogs are not fucking tiny. I'm not like washing a Frenchie. They're
Okay.
fucking 90-pound fucking pit bulls. So
I don't know about your dog, but my dog like knows, like it's almost like we have an understanding. Like
no,
don't-
they know, but my one dog, my Tank, my buddy, he likes putting his nose in everybody's asses. He smells everybody's
yeah,
asses.
only people he doesn't know. Like Paul said that. Paul's like, dogs sniff your balls. I'm like, yeah, the people they don't know.
Yeah.
Like I've never come home and had my dog sniff my balls. He already knows me.
Yeah, well, unless he's around other people or dogs that he wants to smell.
Yeah.
There's
Okay,
no
anyway.
Yeah, I wear the boxers just to feel comfortable.
James, what do you think? How do you think Samson's doing as a Mr. Olympia so far?
Great. I love it. I think it's great because I like the fact that he just
Look at this.
is global. The man's like he'll go wherever, do whatever, be with whoever.
That's what
He'll
it's
get off
about.
He just gets off his ass, doesn't he?
He's in China teaching
Yeah.
Chinese people how to fucking
I know.
pose
I
and
know.
shit. Like it's incredible.
It's been fun to watch. I've been like looking at his and Mel's stories, and looks like they're having an amazing time. That's what Mr. Yeah, exactly. That's what Mr. Olympia should be. You're meant to be an ambassador for a sport, bringing the world together. And if you just sit in your room and don't do nothing about it, then you're not really doing a great job, are you? So no, ratings to Samson. I think he's the best ambassador we've had for pre-Phil.
Yeah.
Roman, what do you think?
You know what? The first question I had that came to my mind when Samson won was, does Fouad have to match his prize money?
I got asked that a whole bunch of times. No, I don't.
God
No,
for
fuck, no, fuck no. No, I don't. The company's not that big, dude. No,
ESN contract.
no, he got a. You know what? I don't think there's any supplement companies out there that will ever do that again. Now that prize money is becoming what it is.
Muscle Tech to do that, right, Fouad?
What's that?
That was Muscle Tech. That was a Muscle Tech thing.
Yeah,
Back
but I
in the
mean
day.
back then it was $100,000,
Yeah, exactly.
which is still a lot of money, but it's not 5. You know what I mean?
You actually taught me that.
I taught you what?
I didn't have a sponsor at one point,
Yeah.
and I asked you for advice, or you gave me advice. I don't know what it was. It was either or, and then you said, yeah, you should ask for matching your prize money, like a clause in the contract.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't say that anymore.
Yeah, that's why I would.
Advice.
When you originally signed Samson, he was still placing 4th, 5th, like me, the Spain show, that.
Yeah, no, I would love to be able to, but we're just not in that position. Maybe one day. You know, if we were the size of I don't know, a Cellucor, a fucking, one of these massive companies, maybe that's a problem. I heard Ghost just sold for like $1 billion fucking dollars.
900 million.
Yeah, if we're that size, yeah, I would fucking do that, man.
That's wild, man. Isn't it?
I like being generous with the athletes, but at this current time, no, I don't think we're big enough to do that. But that being said, I got asked yesterday, Martin, if you were doing the Arnold. No, flat out no. So what is it then? Is it Prague, and then do you want to? Can you talk about it? Do you know what your plan is?
Pittsburgh is confirmed after that.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they've done open pro show now.
Yeah, Roman, where you been? You're the most avid bodybuilding watcher of this whole crew.
You're normally looking at the calendar for everyone else.
The last couple of months have been
tough.
Not so fruity.
Yeah.
So
This guy just asked me how much I would sell HOSSTILE for. A lot. Anyway, why have it? Do you want to talk about why or no?
Actually, no.
Okay. James, how are you doing? You been okay? How's the move?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Just plodding on. It's stressful.
Who helped you move?
An old friend of mine. I have an old friend that has a removal company.
Who's getting
really?
more moving?
Oh, that's right.
Yannicka or you?
Yannicka's done. I've done fuck all. I've done nothing. I've built this desk and put my gaming setup in, and I'm like, that's me. She's downstairs building wardrobes right now.
Somebody commented that said you gamed for 11 hours straight. Is that true?
I did the other day.
11 fucking hours?
11-hour stream straight. No fucking pissing about me.
Dude, there's nothing I can do for 11 hours except sleep.
I can do that.
You game for 11.
Yeah, I had all my meals ready, so I just kept getting meals. It's rest day, wasn't it? So I was like, I'm going to do 11 hours.
Hey, I have a question for you guys. What's the longest you think you could fuck?
2 minutes, mate. I bust my
like non-stop motion or the whole.
I'm curious
about. Oh, you gotta like be able to like turn them in different positions and like move around. Not like.
I'm actually curious of both. Like, let's start with the intercourse itself. What's the longest amount of time you think you could fuck?
That is 2 minutes. That's what I'm saying.
No. If you had to, like, let's say you had to, like, let's say you were getting paid $1,000.
That's me. That is. I'm being honest. That's generous. That's me, like lasting a long time. Like I'm fucking well under a minute, mate. Jeez.
You're like a fucking jackrabbit.
So
I'm meant to breed because I'm meant to do it quick and get the fuck out.
Just like once you get touched, that's it. One
peepee touch. Literally terrible.
All right. So if it was okay, Roman, if you're getting paid $1,000 a minute, what's the longest you could hold out for, like, and make it like work?
If I had to constantly,
yeah, it's constant fucking. You can't stop. I mean, you can stop to switch positions and shit, but that's it.
Oh, okay, that's what I need. Yeah,
that's completely different. So
yeah,
I could probably make 15 grand.
So 15 minutes.
Yeah, with switching positions. If it was just
is it 15 minutes? Is it 15 minutes because you would get tired, or is it 15 minutes because that's just like it? That's as far as you can go.
It also depends on the partner.
Well, let's say you're really turned on. It's a great partner.
Oh. It would be 15 minutes, I guess. Yeah. And if I had to constantly like stay in one position and constantly do the movement, it would also depend on the position.
Yeah.
And I think it would be right around, with all the tricks I can pull, imagining something else and biting my tongue and all that stuff, it would probably be right around.
Tell me about the tricks so you can imagine stuff. Everybody knows that. By the way, that's never fucking worked for me. I've tried that before.
One of the best tricks is if you look at a picture of I'm not going to say actually. It's not so good.
I've tried to imagine other shit that's like
a highlight reel.
No, like when they say like if you're fucking and you don't want to come, you can imagine like
old people.
You gotta look at a family picture of like a dad.
Like a grandparent. Yeah,
doesn't work for me, man.
Mate, what to turn you on more? You're like, hey, fucking hell. Jesus. No.
What I want is there some other tricks, Roman?
Did you say bite your tongue?
Yeah,
pain in it. He's trying to put pain in his tongue rather than his cup.
Bite your tongue, like to the point where it hurts.
Yeah.
I've never tried that before.
He's trying to transfer sensation, isn't he? So
I understand. I understand. I understand the thought process. I just never tried it.
What else? You can also pretend like you're into being scratched.
Okay.
Because if she scratches your back like really hard,
yeah,
that
hurts.
That gives you an extra couple minutes, or at least like an extra 30 seconds to a minute until the pain subsides again.
Oh, so you're trying to get her to scratch your back to the point where it's like she's leaving a mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
And then what I figured out is actually while you're fucking, you're contracting your dick in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Relax that, and instead contract your abs, but keep your dick relaxed.
So relax. So you're not doing a Kegel. You're just controlling your abs.
Yes, and that will that will take some of the sensation away.
I've never fucking tried that before. I'd probably get an ab cramp though. It would fuck the whole thing up.
No, you got that. Trust me.
Okay, so contract my abs, not my dick. Okay.
Yeah, that helps. And then like you're imagining something completely disgusting. Okay, like your mother, for example.
This guy says Viking cowboy, 4 hours is the longest I've gone.
No
Get out
chance, dude.
There's
No
no
way.
fucking way. Nobody believes you.
No way.
What do you do? Take Viagra?
An hour's a long time. An hour.
Yeah,
They tell you to call the doctor after 4 hours, bro.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have took that much Viagra.
Martin.
Yeah.
$1,000 a minute.
$1,000 a minute. You said I like the girl? That's
Everything's
good?
great. Everything's great. You're having an amazing time.
I'm like 5 to 10 minutes, bro. Depends on how much I like her.
Okay. All right. Guy, you didn't answer it, did you?
No. Oh man, like is this a girlfriend or like?
I feel like money doesn't really change it. Like,
it does for me because
as much as you want to be like, yeah, I would love to make an extra grand. I don't think you really.
I mean, sometimes I get to the point where like I want to finish because it's been like, all right, it's been like 20 minutes. Like I want to end this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not if it's good. That doesn't happen if it's good.
No, it is because then I'll stop. Like I'll if I want.
But let's say
stop and switch positions.
Yeah, but
When
hold on a minute.
Your test is 200, maybe. But come on.
Hold on a minute. Let me ask you a question. Let's say you're with this girl.
What's our test level at?
Let's say she's a squirter and she's like
tired.
Guy, you're with a squirter.
Okay.
She's just like having an orgasm every 3 minutes.
3 minutes. That's all.
Does it make you want to? No, she wants to keep going even though she has an orgasm.
Is it her place or my place? Because if I'm thinking about my bed sheets,
it's her place. It's
okay,
her place.
then I'm okay. I'm okay.
The thing is, he's been very serious.
My anxiety.
I know he's been done. I know he's been saying, okay. No, it's her place.
Okay, I get $0. Okay.
She's messing up her own bed.
All right.
What I'm asking you is, does that make you want to make it longer because you like watching her come over and over again, or no?
I mean, yeah, it definitely throws an intricate detail into the mix. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I can make it like, unless it's been a period where I haven't had any fucking ass. Like if it's consistent, if I like have a girlfriend or I'm getting, if I'm having sex like a couple times a week, I can literally go for 45 minutes to an hour, throwing different positions, this and that with, but if it's like, if I haven't seen my girl in 3 weeks and she comes over, I'm like 2 to 5 minutes. I'm done.
45 minutes to an hour.
If I get consistent and I want to have I can have a long bout. And
the only way I'm doing 45 minutes to an hour is including like build up and shit. That's like the foreplay and the fucking whole bit, everything.
Yeah. I don't have time. Who has time for that?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I can have one long bout.
Who has time for that?
I think the only way I'm ever doing that again is if I'm drunk.
That's like, I'll do one of those like once a month. Where we just go at it for a
Think about this. Think about this actually.
Okay.
We eat every 2.5 hours.
Right.
2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Right.
So, and basically, after the second meal, you're stuffed the whole day. You're like, you don't want to eat.
Right.
Especially in the off season.
Yeah.
Then you eat a meal, you're full. It takes you don't want to fuck right away because you're full.
Right.
So an hour after that meal, you're ready to have sex.
Yeah.
You're not fucking around for an hour because you already have to get back to the kitchen to prepare your next meal.
Martin, if you think that's where
So you don't have
my brain
ever
ever
was
was when I was having sex
You
ever.
actually have like a 20-minute, the most 20, maybe 30-minute time window.
Roman cooks everything fresh, Lily.
Roman, I can see how dedicated you are now to bodybuilding.
Yeah, like me and Guy both love you for that.
Not a damn chance, bro. Not a chance.
If I'm fucking and I'm having a great time, it's gonna be 3 or 4 hours for my next meal. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna lose any muscle. It'll be all right.
But I love you, Roman, that I could actually
James, come on. James Martin, if Nick was on here, he would say the same thing.
Not me, bro. I would. It can
Oh,
go 2 hours.
I'm quite particular. I like to have sex first thing in the morning in place of cardio, and then get on with my day. I like to.
How's
Don't
that?
say
Wait a
that.
minute.
Don't
Wait
say
a
that.
minute.
Don't say that.
How
Don't
does
say that
2
in place of
minutes?
cardio.
How does 2 minutes equivalent to cardio?
I was just gonna say
Oh
that.
yeah. Listen, I normally do steady state, so this is hit. So
Okay. They
equivalent,
go really fast.
equivalent calories burned, but in a short period of time.
That's the
But
Dorian approach.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right. What are we missing in the bodybuilding world, James? What are we talking about this week?
What are we missing about the bodybuilding world?
I mean, like, is there any other news in the bodybuilding world that we haven't discussed?
In Germany, I can tell you that
What?
in German social media, everyone seems to be hating on drop sets lately.
Why?
I like
Oh, they're useless. Oh, they don't make any sense. Oh, you don't never do drop sets. Like all the little
What?
influencers.
It's going to be.
What do you mean it's popular in Germany now? What do you mean?
No,
it's just the trend right now in Germany. Like I said, they seem to be slaying on drop
in
sets.
German social media, all the smart influencers, the kids, right?
Yeah.
They're all of a sudden everyone is hating on drop sets.
Oh, I love a drop set.
It's funny. It's funny you said that, Roman, because I think I had Mike Israetel on, and we were talking about that.
I bet he's anti-drop set.
And he said the same thing. And he said his point of view was, why not just finish the set and then do another set? And I said, well, you're taking the set further by doing a drop set.
Yeah, but it's a waste of energy, right?
Yeah, but we're trying to waste energy to.
I want to have fucking and I want to have fun in the gym. So fuck all the other bullshit. I want to have fun in the gym. Fun is a big part of it.
I would say that as far as output goes, they might be right. You could probably take a straight set, maybe a bit further, and you're using roughly the same amount of energy or doing the same amount of work, because work is equated to weight moved over a distance, right? So but if you're moving a lighter weight over the distance more times, you're kind of getting the same amount of work as moving a heavy weight over the distance at the same time. So scientifically, it's probably almost the same.
Well, hold on a minute, Martin. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So let's say you're doing 5 sets total. You're not doing 6. I'm doing 5. I'm doing 5 sets or 4 sets or 3 sets, whatever your number is. This is my working set. I'm not doing another working set. This is my working set.
Sure.
It's my final working set. And now I've failed at 10 reps.
Sure.
Why not tax the muscle even further by either doing a rest pause where you put the weight down for 10 seconds and pick it back up, or put the weight down, drop the weight by 20 or 30, 40 pounds and pick it back up? You're extending the set. I mean, this is kind of Patrick Tour's entire.
I used to love doing it with Patrick. Me and Pat.
Well, that's Patrick's methodology, from what I understand of it, is basically trying to extend a set as much as possible to tax the muscle further and get more growth out of it. So I don't know if it makes sense scientifically. Maybe it does if you're going to say, well, actually, I don't even think it does. Isn't there something to taking a muscle beyond the point of failure, not just calculating the number of sets and reps?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is like, it is taking a straight set with you helping me grind 2 or 3 reps out, the same as me getting to failure with a weight and you dropping it, me getting to a failure and dropping.
Hold on a minute, Martin. Let's say I'm training with you.
Yeah.
It's your final working set. You do, you're on a leg press. I helped you eke out 2 or 3 forced reps, right? We can still take that set even further if we peel off 2 or 3 plates off each side of the leg press and you do 6 to 10 more reps.
Okay, so I agree with that if you can keep it in the target muscle. But how long can you keep it in the target muscle? Because if you're truly reaching failure with that super heavy weight, you're going to start to lose connection there and start to use something else. So that
but this is
not if you pick a correct weight.
No, hold on. I'm glad you said that. I believe that there's like this fucking huge epidemic right now in bodybuilding of people trying to isolate and not doing, and it's actually not helping physiques.
Yeah.
Because let's say you're on a leg press. It's, first of all, it's already a compound movement. But let's say your feet are low and you're trying to target the quads.
Yeah.
You do your set, you do your forced reps. I peel off some plates. You keep going. okay, you're still taxing the quad, but maybe now your hamstring and your adductor and your glute is working a little bit too.
And your calves
And your calves.
I mean,
But
everything hurts.
there's nothing wrong with that, because now we're still
yeah. Oh, let's preface this. I believe what you're saying 1,000%. I'm being devil's advocate.
No, I like that. I want you to. I want you to.
Because I mean, I believe in drop sets. I do think that pushing a muscle past mechanical failure is how you grow. And you guys have seen that there's a density and a graininess to my physique that other guys don't have. So there's obviously something that goes with those things, right?
Right.
And I do think it's important, but I do see from a science standpoint of numbers that sometimes it doesn't make sense. That's why bodybuilding is what bodybuilding is because like on paper shit doesn't make sense, but it works. Right. I think, I mean, you see this in a lot of things. Like I know from my experience of working physical labor is like an engineer can tell you all day long, like this is exactly how you build a house. But sometimes you start building the house and you're like, bro, that measurement is wrong. If I cut the board like that, this whole thing is going to be fucked up.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing with bodybuilding. It's like, yo, you can tell me all day long that this doesn't work, but when I do it, I feel X, Y, and Z. I get more sore. I have more breakdown. So yeah, I mean, I'm just being devil's advocate.
There's also this other epidemic I've noticed. It's not just the isolation thing. Like this gentleman said it here. He says the thing you have to play with is recovery. So I've heard this time and time again as well. Like, well, you don't want to dig yourself too far in a hole because you have to recover. That is true, but I mean, if you're talking to if you're talking to a natural guy, maybe that's a little bit more something to worry about. But if you're on gear, I don't know anybody who's not recovering in 5-6 days from their training session. If they're eating properly, sleeping, taking gear, I don't know anybody who's doing drop sets who's not recovering.
Well, it's more like this. If you're going to train that hard and you're not doing the proper things to recover, then again, that falls on you.
Right.
In order for it to be advantageous, you have to train hard and make sure you're getting enough nutrients in to grow, recover, whatever. So
go ahead, Roman. What are you going to say?
Go ahead, Roman.
About drop sets and recovery and all that. I once trained with Ben Pokulski after the 2017 Hour Classic where you competed for.
Yeah.
So in the gym the next morning, and I asked him about like couple training stuff, and we got to leg training. Imagine,
yeah.
And he said he made his best gains in size when he trained legs twice a week.
Yeah.
And by the second session that week, he was still so sore.
Right.
That his legs hurt so much when he got into the leg press, he had to lift his leg with his arm into the leg press.
Yeah.
Because it was so painful from the soreness from the last session.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, okay.
I don't think that's exactly the way to do it. I think you need to be recovered.
Yeah, of course not.
I think it's okay to be like, look, Brad Schoenfeld put it best. More frequency is better for growth as long as you can get back and train and you're recovered to train. That doesn't mean you have zero soreness.
Yes.
He said as long as the soreness is not affecting how you train, it's okay to be a little sore when you go back for that next session.
Exactly.
So I just think people are really like, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like this thing, like I told the guys on the last podcast, I watched this thing with Mike Israetel where he was saying like doing standing dumbbells were bad for him because of axial fatigue, which was basically means like his core holding his body up with the dumbbells was making his body fatigue, so he wasn't able to focus on the bicep enough.
Well, maybe that's why his core sucks.
I'm like, that's really, really.
Yeah, he needs to do some fucking core work.
I just feel like that's
we'll get the planks out, mate.
I think there is a trend right now, Fouad, is really what we call it, how it is that people want bodybuilding to be easy, and it's not easy.
I don't know if that's it. You know what? There was a period of time where I thought that. I don't know if that's it anymore. I feel like the science guys, and I hate doing that because I do believe science has its place, but I feel like they're trying to parse out bodybuilding to this place where everything is so isolated. Like if I'm training biceps, I only want to feel my bicep. I don't want to feel anything else. Nothing else can have any impact at all. And I'm like, you're trying to build an entire physique.
Yeah.
Like if I train my biceps and my shoulders get a little bit of work, or my triceps get a little bit of work, or my back, like it's okay. Like that's not a horrible thing. Like I used to do bicep curls where I would bring the weight up to here.
Yeah.
Right. Some people do drag curls, and some people bring them up higher. When I bring them up higher, I get a better contraction in my bicep. Like I can feel it. Even if you just do this, you can feel a better contraction in your bicep. The thing is, you get a little bit of front delt too. So people will be like, oh, you're getting your front delts. I'm like, so what? It's okay.
Yeah.
I would say I think that only matters when the body part sucks. I think then you need to take some real serious
to target it. Yeah.
All this spiel we're talking about is always implemented way too early in someone's physique development as well.
Yeah.
They've never got the amount of tissue where it's even a problem to think about it. And I hate to say it, like
sometimes you just gotta fucking work out, bro.
Well, build a fucking base, man. Like, sorry, but the majority of people, and the majority of people that will explain that we should be training differently do have far less muscle than us.
You know what?
So it kind of doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. If that isolation, sorry.
No, sorry. Go on, man. That's cool. So
if that isolation approach was the way to go, all professional bodybuilders would do only leg extensions, only pec deck, only pullover machines, only super supported bicep curls. That's all we would do. But it's not. We're still, all of us, we're squatting, we're incline pressing, we're bent over rowing.
I should ask you guys a question. Who is in a bodybuilder that's a pro that's more of a science guy? Because I don't even know one.
John Jewett. Somebody just said it. I was thinking it too.
Yeah, but John's also extremely. Yeah, and he's also extremely.
Not really that. I mean, I know he does like his Fitbit and that shit, but all right, besides John.
But even with John, like I just said then, John built a substantial amount of muscle first.
Yeah.
Right.
So once you've got muscle, you can get more acute with things. You can be more precise. You can get more nitty gritty. You don't build that foundation and that size and that strength for that development from being too fucking picky too early on. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's kind of been my whole point all along, James. I've said it on the last few podcasts, is like these guys that are starting out need to do the compounds. They don't need to worry about isolating. They need to build the physique before they worry about isolating. And I also said it's not necessarily, look, the biggest thing is it's not one or the other. I had Eric Janicki on here, and Eric was doing some isolation stuff. And I said, look, I agree with all the new stuff you're trying to teach people, but don't tell them not to do the basics or the foundation movements or the compound movements, whatever you want to call them, because that's how they're going to really build their physique. And then the isolation stuff is the cherry on top. It's not the fucking whole cake.
I think the thing is what people get wrong. It's not about isolating while you're squatting,
right?
Or while you're deadlifting, or while you're bench pressing. It is doing the movement in a way that it mostly targets your quads, for example.
Right.
But you can't do the movement or overload the quads with such an amount of weight without using your glutes, your lower back, and all the other supporting muscles, right? Sure. So what the science is giving us is a way to optimize the brute blunt force trauma exercises.
Right.
Also, let me one last thing, because you know, you're always going to get comments like there's many ways to train.
Yes, there is. Yeah,
there is many ways to train, but I guarantee you there's only pretty much one real way to get big. And big doesn't mean you're gonna have the perfect body. I mean just getting big. Perfect body, like if Samson now said he's at a point of his career where he didn't really focus too much on gaining more muscle, he wanted to get more specific with his training. Absolutely. The guy's got 305 pounds of lean tissue in his body. Anyone who throws the bullshit, this guy was a science guy, that guy was a science guy, this guy was a science guy. every name that will get thrown out into the conversation, into the live, or whatever it may be, whoever that person was, they built their tissue from performing basic fundamental exercises with intensity. They did not build all that muscle by being so specific. They might be specific in logging their training, they might be specific in journaling it, but the movements they were doing were not what we're seeing an influx of today. Those training principles now that come in today, they are valid, yes, but they're valid when you've developed a certain amount of muscle. There is not one person that's built that sheer amount of muscle from just doing that alone. Not one.
It's funny.
Not
It's funny.
one.
It's funny you said that, James, because this guy says the late John Meadows was also into isolation.
John trained like a fucking bodybuilder, doing fucking barbell squats when he was a young man.
John used to pride himself on a video that he showed me over and over again where he squatted 500 pounds for 25 reps.
He was a fucking Tom Platz.
John was a science guy, but John was also a fucking bro. Like he loved to train hard. He loved to do isolation stuff, but he also loved heavy compound shit. That's why a lot of the science that he brought to bodybuilding came from the powerlifting world, because that's where he built his base.
You know what? Resistance training requires resistance.
And if you look at John's videos, if he talks about, okay, let's get a little bit more specific here and isolate that, he is still squatting.
Yeah.
But he might use a band, or he will definitely use lighter weights and tell you, sit in the hole for
do a rest pause, pause reps or something. Yeah,
it's like listen.
It's all right. We're not squatting anymore. We're only doing leg extensions.
It's like a fucking tree that grows fruit. Yeah, you need the tree to grow the fruit. The fruit can be the fancy stuff, but without the tree in the middle, all those fundamentals and basics, there's no tree to grow the fruit. That's it. Bottom line. The fruit is the fucking the nitty pitty, whatever it may be. But you can't have that if there's no fucking tree in the middle.
I think most of the bro guys, Fouad, are also adding some science, but it's more the science guys that don't like the bro stuff.
I agree with you. Most guys
I do some science stuff, but I do a lot of bro stuff. I don't think it's wrong. I try to train the most advantageous way to my physique to where I'm in, and hit the muscle and grow. But it's like, there's science behind it, but I don't know.
You know what it's like? It's like a fucking vegan. It's like, it's not enough to say vegetables are good for you. You're like, no, you can only eat vegetables. So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, it's a topic we've tried to go ahead, Martin.
Yeah, I want to touch on one last thing, because I think that it's probably the most important that the science people are forgetting. And that's that muscle is grown because of a stress response. It's because you put enough stress on that muscle, enough damage on that muscle, that the body said, we have to make it bigger, otherwise it's going to tear or get hurt, right? Doing those compound movements, even if you're not targeting the target muscle 100%, you're causing so much blunt force trauma to the actual body that it's causing an inflammatory response that causes muscle growth. And that is what's important. I think a lot of the density, like James is talking about, building that tree comes from just CNS trauma of just deadlifting heavy shit off the floor, of just squatting heavy shit off the floor, to where when you get done, your body's shaking, your central nervous system is blasted. Your
bone decreases.
Guys, can I read a couple of these comments real quick?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This guy says, Fouad, Ben Pakulski was a science pro bodybuilder. Listen, being a science pro bodybuilder doesn't mean that you know science. Sure, Ben knows science. But if you ever watched Ben train fucking legs...
I've trained legs with him. It was no science at all.
Listen, most of the scientific community, if they saw Ben train legs back in the day, would say, that's way too much. He's doing too much. He's going too fast. He should slow down. He should... Guys, when we say science, science is important, and science is part of bodybuilding. And everything Martin just said about resistance and growth is science. We know that. I think when we say the science community, we're saying they are parsing out things to such a fine detail that you're missing the forest through the trees. You're being so specific, you're forgetting the grand macro view of it all. And that's what I think what we mean by when we say science. We're not saying science is bad. We're saying don't be so specific that you've forgotten what you're doing in the first
Yeah,
place.
don't let science be your only way, because science paired with what we're talking about is actually a very good combination. If you only do science, I guarantee you will not build the physique you're after. Same with if you only train like a brute, you might build a lot of muscle, but you probably won't have the perfections to be on stage. There is a need for both, but you just can't be so cut off with bros being like, yeah, bros don't know shit, bros don't know shit. They do, and it's proven, because bodybuilders, majority of them over the years, have never even looked into the reasons why they do what they do. It's only
put
lately
yourself
that
in
people
captivity if you only do science.
absolutely, and that's just not needed. And also, listen again, if you're someone that finds joy in following things down to that like level of specificity and being really precise, superpower to you. That means you are going to be good at what you do. But don't feel obliged to do it if it's not you personally. That's the thing as well. I see it forced on a lot of people. A lot of people do just want to go into the gym lift, but then they start questioning their own training because they're like, oh, but this guy said I should be doing this, this guy should be doing that. It's okay to have instinct, and it's okay to enjoy your training, and it is okay not to get overcomplicated.
Yeah. No. It's most important to enjoy your training.
Most important.
Agree. Martin, I want to ask you a question before we go. I'm going to wait for a couple people to ask questions here, but do you think, now that you're fourth at the Olympia, and obviously you want to move up, and some people had you in third, some people had you in second, do you think competing more often this year will hold you back from the ultimate goal of winning the Olympia, or at least moving up at the Olympia level?
No, I don't think so, honestly.
Because you're doing Prague, then you're doing Pittsburgh. So like, how much off season are you actually going to have?
I'm not a ton, but I mean, we saw what I could do just from Detroit to the Olympia.
Yeah, right.
I say it's going to help him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think this is what I think. One, it gives me more stage time, more stage presence, which is only going to increase my ability to put on a better show at the Olympia, which matters. Right. There's nothing that mimics being in callouts, but being in a callout.
I agree.
So I think that is very important. Two, I don't think I need a ton of tissue.
No.
So a 2, 3, 4 pounds added to my physique over this amount of time, it will make drastic differences. Because we saw me be a pound lighter at the Olympia than New York, and I was still drastically improved.
You're better. Yeah.
Both muscle size. And then I think truly the most important thing right now for me is working on my mobility and my flexibility to then be able to add the tissue in the right spots.
Yeah, so, still display it.
Yeah, so that I can display it better. You know, as long as I don't add any tissue to my waist and stuff, and honestly, dieting to be able to keep my food volume in a good spot is also going to keep my waist in a really good position as well. So for me, I can eat for about 3 or so months before I start to get sick of food, and I don't want to do off season and stuff anyways. And that will be about the time that I start getting ready for New York again. So honestly, I think it will be about perfect for me. And mentally, I love bodybuilding, and when I'm prepping, I'm perfect 100%.
Did you say you're doing New York too?
No.
Oh, okay. So what's Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh's in May. Are you doing anything? Because I know there's a bunch. There's FIBO and there's
New York's right after May.
Is there FIBO now or not?
There's FIBO, yeah.
FIBO's apparently this year, yeah. I've heard that.
Some people are saying no. Some people are saying yes.
I heard yes too.
I heard yes, and I heard big prize money.
Is it on April the 13th?
No.
No, it's May. It's May. I think it's May.
Yes, it's in May.
I think it's in May because I remember when we were doing dates for Detroit. I think they said it was in May or the end of April. Are you doing Detroit, Roman?
I thought about doing Detroit, but now
now you want to wait till it's closer to the other.
No, shows? I don't want to wait. I want to compete in 2 weeks. You know, in Prague. But
then do it. You're already in shape. Look at you.
I don't have any legs left.
Oh, bullshit.
Show us right now.
It's literally your best body part. Okay, wait. I got to ask you some questions before we go for these people. Yeah. Blake Hannon says, rank these most musculars: Marcus Rule, Rolly Winkler, Kevin Levrone, Jay Cutler.
The poses.
Yeah.
Lerone and Roddy Wheat.
As far as what, like just how
Crab or ham
Just
clam?
guys, come on, don't make this so complicated. Just
who's
your favorite, most muscular out of these four guys?
Roddy's my favorite out of those. When
Kevin out of those. I like Kevin.
Marcus Rule when he does this, the crab.
Marcus Rule is probably the free.
And Livroni when he does the other one.
Right.
Marcus was good, but the triceps were a bit flat. Sorry.
I agree with that.
Sorry.
What about Kevin Livroni?
Stickler for triceps.
I like Kevin's most muscular.
Kevin's better than Rolly's, no?
I thought so.
It's beautiful. It probably is prettier, but freakiness, like.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I asked what we're comparing. Like we thought it was freakiness.
Roddy's pretty fucking full blown, bro. Fucking pretty sick.
What the hell?
Relax.
We can have a look.
Ah, okay.
Like Roddy 2018, like when he got third at the Olympia, like whatever it was, he looked pretty fucking man.
I always thought Rolly didn't do himself any justice because I never liked how he posed.
Do you like this, James?
On his back.
I think it's pretty fucking wild, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, okay, Rolly's better.
If you like, when I think of what it is, it's the most muscular. It's that's up there with some of the best crab shot of all time.
Okay, I think Rolly takes it, right?
I didn't like Jay's because his chest never looked flexed in his most muscular most of the time.
Yeah, I hear that. He didn't come. Yes, come. He's one of them has to come across with his arms more to get
it. That's the best. That's the best one.
I love Kevin's. I think, but you know,
I actually like the one where he came to the side, Fouad, and did the
side chest kind of thing. Yeah, it's like a crab.
I would take this most muscular over everybody's.
That's a.
It's because the triceps, isn't it? You take the triceps off.
You know what it is, James? Everybody always wants what they don't have, and I didn't have
those triceps.
I didn't have massive arms, so I was like, yeah.
I look at that as well. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. If you could meet one famous actress, celebrity, what would be the reason and why? And who would it be?
Scarlett Johansson, so I can have sex with her.
Who? Scarlett Johansson.
That's why.
You think she would fucking be your type? Or you'd be her type?
I don't know, man. I can hope, can't I?
He's assuming that if he met her, he gets to fuck. So he's
sorry, Yannicka. Scarlett Johansson's skin sex.
How would your 2-minute rule still be in effect?
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's job done. Then if she decides it wasn't a good choice, at least I'm out the door before.
Yeah, but 1 second, James. You could meet a celebrity that you could spend a lot of time with and have some fun, or you could.
Yeah, but a woman, I just want 2 minutes. I'm good. Just 2 minutes.
Roman, who would you meet and why?
I really don't know. I'm not into.
You're not into celebrities? Guy?
Yeah.
Martin? I'd probably go Dana White. I'd like to.
I thought you said actress.
I like Rob Dyrdek.
It says actress or celebrity.
Yeah, it means girl though. Surely, celebrity, female or actress.
Oh, you mean just okay? Fine. If
why would you state it?
Don't
get yourself in trouble now, mate.
Who's the chick from? Who's the famous blonde actress from way back in the day?
Pamela
Anderson?
No, before that, way back. That fucked John F. Kennedy. What's her name?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. Who's the chick that played Marilyn Monroe in the late? Most recent movie?
We had to go that far back to get this far ahead.
No, you fucking idiot.
Who played her?
Who's that girl? That girl that's who played her?
Clearly a stunner.
Where the fuck is that? Oh, this girl.
Oh, Margaret Robbie.
Not Margot Robbie. This girl.
Oh, she's fit as well, though.
What's her fucking name again? Oh, Anna Darmus. That's it.
Oh, I know. All right, well, anyways. It's all a bit too much.
The girl that played
I'm leaving the room.
I'm leaving the room. This girl.
Harley Quinn.
Look at this.
She's okay. She's probably about a 7 for
What do you mean she's okay? She's a 7? Are you fucking insane?
Harley Quinn is Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie's probably a 9.
You? This is a 7 to you, James? Are you fucking nuts?
Yeah, it's 7 to me. I think Yannicka with better makeup on is probably better than that.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about your wife.
You haven't seen Yannicka, right? When she's dressed up, she's not.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Who's a 10 to you then? Scarlett Johansson?
I think Scarlett Johansson is a 10 when she's on. Yeah,
all right, I want to ask the chat, who's better looking, Anna Darmus or Scarlett Johansson?
Definitely Scarlett, chat. You know it as well.
No
Don't even need to lie. This chick's face is too wide. Sorry, mate.
Angelina Jolie from Tomb Raider.
Anthony Jolie back then was really fit.
Yeah. Okay. Can't wait to see James back on stage. If you had to get rid of a compound movement, which one would you get rid of? Bench, squat, deadlift?
Bench.
Deadlift.
Bench.
I get rid of deadlift.
I love benching. I'll do it.
I love it, but I'm talking about practicality.
Yeah. You guys get rid of bench?
Like
I would.
It didn't say flat bench.
I love bench.
Oh, so you're talking about all benching all together? I was just talking about flat bench.
Well, no, it has to be it surely is just that movement.
I get rid of flat bench if that was what we're talking
That's
about.
why
I'm talking about benching.
Bench is the ultimate.
No, you can't do that.
Well, I mean, how are you going to train your chest then?
Then I would go deadlift.
So we're talking just
Even
flat
rack
bench.
pull.
I would get rid of deadlift just so I'll just do really heavy hyperextensions. Just hope for the best.
I don't know, man. I got pretty big. I got
just-
pretty big and didn't do deadlifts that much. I could fucking do without them.
They have their place to a degree, but I have seen a lot of really good backs from people that don't deadlift.
But you can take out deadlifts and do rack pulls. So
James, this guy says
cheating.
Scarlett Johansson is overrated. This guy says Scarlett Johansson, then a puke face.
Don't let me see you in public.
I'm
I'm fucking looking at you as well, chap.
Flat bench is king.
Flat bench is king.
Until you tear your pec. Yeah, it's awesome.
Big. It makes you get huge pecs like Kevin Laverne.
Martin, you got to admit though, it is dangerous, but it does
feel good.
Guys who flat bench a lot have massive chests.
Bro, I mean, I used to fucking bench press almost 500 pounds, and then I dinged my pec, and I'll never fucking.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm in no way saying it's not dangerous. We've obviously seen a lot, but you got to admit, like, you know, some of the biggest chests. Like if you look at Arnold's chest, that's flat bench.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny though is like me being a college shot putter.
Yeah.
Dude, I was insane at bench pressing, but it was all delts and all triceps, and I still have shit pecs.
That's why you got good shoulders and arms, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
How to deal with an L4, L5, and S1, L5 herniated discs affecting my training badly. Get an inversion table.
I've got one in the gym. I need to use it. I bought it the other day.
Listen. Anybody? I've had bulge discs in almost the exact same places. If you get an inversion table, put it at like 60 degrees. Don't go all the way upside down.
Okay.
Put it at like 60 degrees for 5 to 10 minutes a day, every day.
Is it really good, Joe?
Oh my God, dude. When my discs flare up.
Why 60 though, Fouad? I go all the way.
Because I've talked to a chiropractor who's like
hard on your ankles, right?
No, he actually said to me, and I actually felt it. He said to me, it's actually a little bit more strain on your back if you're all the way upside down when you first bulge the disc. If you're doing it for preventative reasons, guy, all the way upside down is fine.
Okay, yes.
He just told me, and I don't know if it's true or not. This is what he said to me. He's like, if you bulge a disc, don't go all the way upside down. Go like 60, 70 degrees first for a few days and let it relax.
Gotcha.
But
anybody
with back problems, I cannot stress enough how much an inversion table helped me. And for preventative reasons, just doing it 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, like it'll keep your back fucking healthy.
I'll use mine tomorrow.
People, they got to go to a chiropractor too. Like people have to go to a chiropractor for when they're in pain or maintenance. Like I go to the chiropractor at least once or twice a week just to stay in alignment.
I was going to say that. And also most chiropractors have a decompression table.
Yeah.
That's
It's what an inversion table is.
That's the mechanical way to do the inversion table.
It's a little bit better than inversion because they can put the right amount of pressure on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. I mean, even when I had my sciatica, if it wasn't for the decompression table, like I was literally paralyzed. I couldn't hardly walk. Like I was like
back problems suck.
Most trend you've ever run on prep and how to combat the sleep side effects.
400,
700 and take less.
700 and just deal with the side effects because they suck.
Yeah, I tried that 100 mega day shit and it weren't good.
Yeah,
100 and it doesn't affect my sleep.
I mean, I swear.
What did Roman say? 1100 and it's fine.
No, Roman.
Not Roman. Martin, what did you say?
Oh, I said 700, but it doesn't affect my sleep that much.
That's because you counterbalance it with weed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I need some weed in my life.
Smoke some weed and take some Xanax if you have to.
Let's see. Anything else here before we go? Any other questions? Question for Guy. Why is he still wearing a hat all the time, considering he got a hair transplant? Is he not satisfied with the result, or does he just love hats? Let me see your hair, guys.
Hey, I love
Let me
hats.
Get it redone.
Hold on, relax. When you
Let me
get the
see
hair
your
transplant, it sets like a follicle, and then that hair grows out. So you go through like the implant, then a shedding, then it grows back. So all my shit fell out. So this is how it.
Oh my God, that does not look worth it at all.
Oh no, this is nothing. It should look like shit now.
But isn't this
It's called shedding.
But guy, wait a minute, guy,
Give me some.
guy, hold on.
Wait. Give me 3 months, and then give me your opinion.
You're not supposed to wear a hat though, right?
After the first 10 days, you're not supposed to.
Okay,
But
wait.
it looks like shit. So of course I wear a hat.
No, I mean I know why you're doing it. I just remember when I talked to them, they were like, "We don't want you to wear a hat for like a month after."
I didn't wear one for like 3 weeks.
Guy, isn't this the second time you've done this?
Yeah, but the first time I only did 2,000 follicles. I needed probably 5. I just didn't do enough hair.
Can I ask you another question?
It'll never happen again.
What? Why
This
is
is a
the
lot.
why is the thing on an angle?
What?
Your hairline's on an angle. It's like going like this.
Where? Look at this.
It goes. It's like
fucking
it's going like this.
Your guy's gonna be looking in the mirror the rest of the fucking day trying to see if his hairline's straight or not, bro.
I love
it. Guy, don't let him fuck with you.
Roman, I don't give a fuck.
No, you do.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
I know.
Are you gonna do it?
He knows I'm fucking.
Listen, Greg
No.
Doucette made a 10-minute video about me, and everybody wanted me to make a response video, and I was like, I don't give a fuck about what any of these idiots say.
Does Fouad intuitively ask those questions he wants the answer and had curiosity? I don't know how to answer that. Do I ask them intuitively?
Next question.
We just make fun of each other.
Do you think Paul would rather shower with his dog? No. Do you consider the age of the porn star when you watch their videos, or find the ones around your age? I like them older.
I find the ones that I like the most.
I haven't actually watched porn in ages, man.
I actually haven't either. You know what? Me and Paul had a bet.
You're married, you don't need to do that.
Listen, me and Paul had a bet like 10 days ago, or more maybe. It's been 2 weeks, and I was like,
touch their dick less.
Yeah, no, that wasn't part of the bet. You can touch your dick, just not the porn. So we made a pact not to watch any more porn. I'm pretty sure he's failed, but I haven't watched any porn. Like, it's been like 2 weeks.
Oh, does it really make that big of a difference?
I just wanted to see if I could just stop watching porn. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why do I need to watch it?
To rub one out once in a while. I think it's healthy even to be in a relationship and marriage.
Do you think you could rub one out without porn? Like with imagination?
Easily.
Then you got to go to the fucking
James. I'm pretty sure you can come no matter what, from the sounds of it.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, easily.
I mean, I think you can go to the highlight.
You can't hear anything because of his headphones.
I know. She can't tell.
I think I could rub one out to the highlight reel.
No, but like, can't you just close your eyes and make a scenario?
This guy said, Fouad, why are you lying? I'm not lying, man. I swear to God, I've turned over a new leaf. No porn. There's no porn in my life. I'm no.
Have you ever grabbed somebody's phone and like here, let me show you how to let me show you, like, you want to go Google something and open their phone to the internet. The internet opens and it's just fucking porn site. It's happened to me so many times, dude.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm like, oh.
Is anybody participating in No Nut November? That's a good question, actually. Today's
No,
the first.
The first of the
That's
month.
no sex or no jerking off.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Does that mean I can't jerk off or I can't come at all?
It's not. Yeah, you can. You're supposed to.
Well, you're not allowed to nut, so you can't nut at all.
Keep it in the whole month.
I don't know if I could do that. That's a good bet. James, can you go a whole month without it?
Not unless I'm like really deep into a prep. Yeah, honestly, you know how, isn't it, mate? Like sometimes when you're in a prep and the trembolone's in and you're not really in the mood. Some people
we're talking about November. We're talking about November to December. Why are you talking about fucking prep? Relax.
Because I'm talking about if I was prepping now, I could do November.
Okay, well you're not. So answer.
No. I'll smash Annika tonight. Fuck that. Get your kit off, love.
All right. Is anybody else going to do Roman No Nut November? Guy? Roman's like, I'm gonna jerk off as soon as we get off the fucking podcast. Yeah,
he already has today, and it's November.
Martin, you're in prep. Can you do no nut November?
I'm gonna be coming out of prep at the end.
Oh,
of it.
that's right. You're gonna be like hungry and shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, it's like you want a good dinner and at least
So, Fouad, I'm all
one
that's
night
what
thing.
Me and you, guy. No, not November.
I just don't think I can believe you.
I will definitely. I will definitely lie about it. I will for sure.
Yeah, I
lie.
know.
And there's no way to ever know either. That's the problem. No way to ever know.
All right. Okay, guys. Listen. Thank you for coming on, Martin. I'm sure we'll talk again soon. But
Yeah, good to see everybody.
good luck in your prep the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Roman, good to see you. Guy, good to see you.
Fouad,
James,
I look forward to not hearing from your call.
Guy, call me. I won't answer. No, I'm just. Okay, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, boys.
Bye.